Hello my loves, thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you're new around here, as you saw my channel name, my name is Sarah, and part-time I resell new and used clothing on a couple of different platforms like eBay, Poshmark, Mercari. I do a little bit on Kidizen and also Flip, but this video we're going to focus specifically on Poshmark. For me, I just like to have a little bit of extra income. I am an educator by trade, and if you know anything about educators, we don't make that much money, but I do also like to enjoy the finer things in life just a little bit. So I kind of focus on my sales on this channel, but then also what I'm able to do based on the sales or the money I have coming in. So for example, the other day I got a facial. I had crazy breakouts, like I need to sum up on my face, and I was able to take some of the earnings from Poshmark into that facial. On an educator salary, like I really can't afford stuff like that. So it's just a little bit extra push for me to allow myself to enjoy those luxuries that some people can't afford, but not everybody. This is my way to be able to afford them. So let's get into the sales. And I do have my computer here. It is really beat up. The first thing to sell in March on Poshmark was a pair of Loft women's jeans. Now these Loft jeans came from some free inventory. Somebody just straight up donated a whole bunch of clothes to me, and this was one of those pieces. These sold for $23 to the buyer. I did provide free shipping. After platform fees and that shipping discount, I did get $10.43. Again, that was completely free to me. So that was $10.43 of complete profit. Now this next sale also came from some of the free inventory, but it was a little bit of a lower price sale. Again, free, so I'll take the money anyways. This was a Zara size small black t-shirt, just a basic black t-shirt, so I didn't think it was gonna go for that much to begin with. It did end up going for $7 without a shipping discount, so that can be $4.05. Again, that's all profit to me in order to allow me to invest in myself or invest in other inventory as well. Now this next piece was actually featured on one of my shorts. I do focus on kind of the higher price sale on my shorts, so if you just want to see the big price or the big sales, check out the shorts. This was a Lululemon City Street cardigan. This also came from the free inventory. It sold for $46 with no shipping discount, so that can be $36.80 after platform fees. So that basically paid for my tip for my facial. And just as I swore off any kind of thredup rescue boxes, this next piece came from a thredup rescue box, and it was a pretty high price sale for being from a thredup rescue box. Normally they're like $10, maybe $20. This Pin Seeker golf pullover shirt or windbreaker came from the thredup rescue box. It sold for $48 with no shipping discount, so that can be $38.40 of profit after platform fees. Now with those thredup rescue boxes, my cost of goods are just around $2. Really, they're under $2. It's just, you know, easier to say $2 for the sake of this time and being in this video. So that can be roughly $36. When I track my expenses, I just track money in versus money out, because I know if I ever needed to, I can go back to Poshmark and see the itemized sales and really break down. But in terms, I'm just did taxes, so taxes are on my brain. Really, in terms of taxes for this purpose, you just need to know how much you're making in general and how much your expenses are. So overall, I know that I'm making more money than I am spending in this particular side business, side hustle. Now this next sale was a pretty big bundle. I actually was laughing at myself because last month the kind of title or theme of my What Sold Poshmark video was, should I keep selling bundles? And almost right when I posted that video, this person bundled all of these clothes. So it was kind of like okay, maybe I should keep selling bundles. There were several pieces in this, so I'll run them through pretty quickly here. The first piece was a Loft black long sleeve blouse. This came from free inventory. Just like this next piece, it was an Ann Taylor Loft women's size small, like casual striped dress. Actually, every single piece in here came from the free inventory, so I don't have to say for each piece. It was all completely free to me. That's how much stuff that this person gave me. The next one was a loft size small tank top, just a basic flowy, like under the blazer tank top. The next one was an anti loft. Notice they're all loft. It was like a quilted blouse. It was like quilted on the top, but on the bottom it was like a button down shirt. So it was definitely like a business type shirt. This next one I was kind of nervous about because it was wool, and wool always makes me nervous because I can't tell if people take care of it or not. And so I always post measurements for it. This one I definitely did. This was a loft sweater. It was women's petite, so it was already short. When I was looking at it, I was like, this doesn't seem right, but I posted it anyways, made sure that I put the measurements. This person was obviously okay with it. It did okay. Not so bad, but with wool, always be careful that you post the measurements. If you don't post measurements on anything else, I always suggest posting on wool because it can shrink if it's not taken care of very carefully. So you can't necessarily rely on the size tag. You really have to make sure that you take the measurements. And if it is shrunken, in most cases it is damaged as well. So you kind of have to think through, is it worth listing, not worth listing? I just threw it up here just because I knew that the person that gave me all this stuff is either new stuff or they have stuff in dry clean condition. So I was pretty sure they took care of it, but I will say I'm not an expert in wool. I just sell the stuff. I can't say that I'm an expert in clothing materials or textiles or anything like that. There are some people that are experts in it. I'm not one of them. I am focused on making the money. I'm not focused on necessarily becoming an expert in the different textiles. So if I'm not sure about it, I probably just wouldn't list it. But in this case, because I was pretty confident that she did take care of it, I did go ahead and list it, and it did work out. This next piece also was a loft piece. It was a green dress. It was sleeveless and kind of flowy. I was able to wear it a couple of times, so that's always a benefit to me, that if things come in and they're my size, I go ahead and wear them. I have no shame in my game with that. I've said that several times. This next piece was an anti-loft, again, more loft. It was a mock neck blouse, again, another work blouse. It seems like this person just needed a whole bunch of work attire, found it all in one spot, only paid one shipping fee, and it worked out for them. So if your closet has a whole bunch of stuff that's very similar, I suggest sending a little comment to the buyer saying, hey, I see that you are looking for business attire or whatever you have. Do you want to check out my closet, see if there's anything else? So a lot of people are pretty happy when they get that because they don't even think to bundle stuff. A lot of the people on Poshmark are just very casual shoppers, looking for something specific, looking for something here and there. They're not necessarily thinking with a shopping mindset, I'm gonna get a whole bunch of things. Maybe they just want this one shirt, but if they get this one shirt plus these pants and it ends up being a pretty good price, if you give them a discount, they usually end up taking it and it gets things off of your plate. This next piece also was free inventory. It was a blue and gray racerback high neck blouse. It was, I don't think it was linen, but it felt like linen. It was the lightweight cotton that almost feels like linen in a sense. This next piece was Antilles Loft. It was a black and white window pane dress. Now all of those together, so let's see, how many items was that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9 items. This person bought them for $113, so it was a pretty good deal for them, but it was all free for me, so I wasn't mad about how much it was going for. No shipping discount, so that could be $90.40. In one sale, shipped it out, no problems. Next sale, moving along the same trend of focusing on the free inventory. I'm telling you, I have been so blessed to connect with this person. Literally pretty much all the money that I make is based on this person at this point. This sale was an Antilles Loft vintage red. No, this did not come from the free inventory. This was from a thredup rescue box. I just automatically thought that it did because it was Loft and almost all of my stuff from Loft comes from that person. But anyway, this was a red sleeveless dress. It sold for $18, no shipping discount, so that was $14.40 of profit, and then taking out the roughly $2 cost of goods. This next one was from free inventory. This was a women's loft high-waist skinny corduroy pants. This is the second time this sold. There was 2 of them. A lot of pieces were duplicates from this person because they were going through a little bit of a transformation in terms of weight. So they bought multiple things or the same thing in multiple sizes. This particular pair sold for $15. I think the last time it sold for like $20, $25. So a little bit less, but still free inventory. I'll still take the money. This did not have a shipping discount, so that gave me $12 of complete profit. More loft, more free inventory, I am sure on this one. This was a loft women's wrap dress. This one sold for $41. So for being loft, $41, I will definitely take it. That just goes to show to price your items higher because you never know what they're gonna go for. People can always make an offer if they're not comfortable with the price, but if there's one thing that I've been focusing on and learning this year, it is definitely to price your items up and let people talk you down, then price them down, and then you're just stuck. You can only go down from there. People are never gonna pay more than what you're asking. So I was pretty excited to see this $41 come through. There was no shipping discount, so that was $32.80 from one single sale on Poshmark. I've said this before, I'll say it again, reselling really isn't that difficult. You buy low, you sell high, you make money. That's pretty much the gist of it there. If you're willing to hold on to items for a little bit longer, yes, you can sell them for a higher price. I'm focusing on pretty much taking offers because most of my inventory is either free, $2, $4, $5. I have a pretty low cost of goods. So I just usually take the money. Sometimes it works out like the $41 sales. Sometimes I have $4 sales. Like this next piece here, it didn't sell for quite as much. It was still loft, still free inventory. So all complete profit to me. This was a long sleeve button down mustard color cardigan. This sold for $10, no shipping discount. So that could be $7.05. I'll still take $7.05 of profit. Like for hardly any work, just taking pictures really quick, putting a title up, and that's pretty much it. I don't focus a lot of time on descriptions or measurements unless it's like a particular instance, like the wool top, I took measurements, but unless somebody asks for measurements, I don't usually include it. It doesn't take that long for me to take out a piece from the inventory if somebody asks about it and just take measurements really quick. I know there's plenty of different trains of thought for that. Some people don't want to take their inventory out of their bins or boxes or however they have it managed once it's in there. Some people don't care. I'm one that doesn't care. It doesn't take me that long, but it does take me a long time to put measurements on a listing that people are not wondering about, especially because I have a lot of loft. A lot of people they know their size. If they're getting loft online, they're pretty much loft shoppers and they know the sizes. So all that to say, I really didn't put that much energy into it at all, especially because this inventory just fell in my lap. I didn't have to source for it at all. I would say I'm not doing so bad and looking out for some extra income for myself. Speaking of some low sales, this next piece came from a thredup rescue box, so I'm already $2 into the item. This was a Parenza Schuler for Target Neiman Marcus sweatshirt, like an abstract sweatshirt. I want you to pay attention to that it was for Target. So you might think Proenza Schuler, I think is how you pronounce it, is a good name, which it is. But if it's for Target, that obviously cheapens the brand down a little bit. I think this was $30 originally, and it ended up selling for $8 on Poshmark. No shipping discount. That can be $5.05. Again, remember it came from a thredup rescue box, so I really only got about $3 from that one. That just goes to show you why I've kind of slowed down, or I've actually stopped on getting thredup rescue boxes, except for the one that's still sitting in my garage waiting to be unboxed. So I do have one more. If you missed my unboxing for my other one, I will leave it in the description. I know a couple of people were waiting for that unboxing. You may have already watched it. If you missed it, if you are interested and you didn't know about it, I will throw it down there for you. This next piece came from a thredup rescue box. This was a pair of Lululemon athletic paddle pusher shorts, or like capri pants, however you want to call it, pedal pushers. They're like in between shorts and pants, or maybe you just say pedal pushers and that's just the name of it. I don't know, but these sold for $26, no shipping discount, so that was $20.80, or so I thought, actually. When the buyer received this item, they opened up a conversation with me and they showed me, yeah, I don't think you meant to send this to me. What I actually sent to them was a pair of, I think it was like Forever 21 black leggings that were so cheap, so thin, so disgusting. I probably shouldn't even be selling them. I probably should donate them at this point. But when they took pictures and said, I don't think that you meant to send this, I don't think you had any ill intent, I was like, oh my gosh, no, I didn't mean to send that to you. That was a complete accident. I would never switch out Lululemon with the cheapest pair of capris I have ever seen in my life. So I told them to open up a case within Poshmark. They did. I put a comment within the case and I said, please accept this return. My bad. I normally don't put anything on cases because it usually is, the item doesn't fit, or they have buyer's remorse, or they didn't notice that this one tiny seam was coming apart within the pictures or whatever. So I don't normally comment anything, but in this case, this definitely was my fault. So I told Poshmark to go ahead and accept the return. They did. They came back to me. I still have that pair of leggings just sitting in a pile, which I do have to go to Plato's Closet today to drop off a whole bunch of inventory from the thredup rescue box, so I might just throw that in there since I already delisted it. Moving on to some more free inventory. This piece was a loft navy blue and black floral print dress. This sold for $20, no shipping discount, so that gave me $16 of profit. Again, with this free inventory, it's all profit to me. If you have anybody that you can connect with, family, friends, coworkers, a random person that you met on Nextdoor, like this example, that people are just willing to give inventory to you, I highly suggest you connect with those people. Even if you do it on consignment, like you do a 50-50 split with the earnings, I think that it's worth it. Only if it is stuff that you're gonna make money for. Like some stuff, people reach out to me and it's worth like $5 initially, and then they want to split that and it just doesn't make any sense. So you really have to pay attention to how many people you connect with, if you can get it for free, or if they do want to do a 50-50 split or 60-40, however you set it up, and then if things are realistically going to sell. This next piece, I honestly wasn't sure if it was ever going to sell. Initially, I was thinking it would, just because the style seemed like it was coming back, but then I think it's been sitting for over a year. It was from a thredup rescue box from a long time ago. I think it was one of my first ones. This was a brown and white maxi skirt. It sold for $11, no shipping discount, so that gave me $8.05. Again, my cost of goods on that is roughly $2, so I still made money, just obviously not enough for storing something for an entire year. Just as I was speaking about paying attention to consignment, if it is worth it, this piece actually sold on consignment from one of my friends. This was a Rose Forever V-neck off cream or white dress. It sold for $13, no shipping discount, so that gave me $10.05 of profit. Now I did have to split 50-50 with that one. Now this consignment, client was one of my good friends that they just were trying to get rid of some stuff and they wanted to make some money, and I didn't really put like a consignment contract or anything. I just said, yep, I'll take your clothes and sell them, and the stuff is selling for $5. So it's not, in that case, it's not really worth it. Because it's a friend, I took it, but in terms of a business model, it probably wasn't the best choice. With this business, you kind of have to be cutthroat in terms of consignment. You can't necessarily do favors for people just because they're friends or family. But in other cases, they don't necessarily have to do favors for you either. So if you're looking for free inventory and they want to take a cut of it, you can't be mad about it. It's their clothes. But if they're wanting to give you their clothes, you have to make sure it's worth it for your own sanity, for your own business. Like, if you're wanting to turn this more into a business than a hobby, you really have to pay attention to stuff like that. And the time of me taking this stuff, I wasn't thinking in that mindset. I was really just thinking in terms of, oh, it's a hobby, I'll sell their stuff, it's a cool little connection that I have, I'm selling their stuff and whatnot, but it really needs to be beyond that. This next piece was also on consignment. This was an Ann Taylor women's blouse. This sold for just $10. No shipping discount, so that was $7.05, but then I had to split that 50-50. Again, not worth it in terms of consignment unless you're making a little bit more profit per item. Moving back to some free inventory, this was a Zara women's floral dress. This sold for $25. No shipping discount. That gave me $20 of profit. So in thinking of consignment, I got $2 and $3, and now completely free inventory, I got $20. Which one do you think is worth it a little bit more? Even if it was free and it gave me $2, it was still free. I didn't have anything into it, but obviously, like, I have to think in that business mindset. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? I can't just hoard clothes around, which is kind of a mindset shift that I'm working on this year. I used to get anything and everything, thredup rescue boxes, quick lots, pallets, all kinds of stuff just to have inventory. But now I'm trying to be conscious of what I'm getting. Because I had a whole bunch of inventory that I didn't list, I've kind of just been coasting off of that. But I've also been kind of behind the scenes getting a little bit more into, I would say, mid-tier, not necessarily high-tier luxury, really just dipping my toes one piece at a time, looking into it. The next thing to sell was also another bundle. Both these pieces came from a thredup rescue box. The first piece was a Luca women's striped jumpsuit. The next piece was an Ann Taylor Loft dress. It was a black dress with like pearl beading along the neckline. The two of them together sold for $30. No shipping discount. That gave me $24 of profit with approximately a $4 cost of goods because it was thredup, approximately $2 each. So that gave me just about $20 on that bundle. Funny enough, this next item also came from a thredup rescue box, and this was a piece that I thought was, well, it did sit forever. Initially, I thought it was going to sell, but then I realized it wasn't getting a lot of attention, I think because it was pretty old. It was a Lily Pulitzer blue beach print capri pants. They were like blue waves on the top, and then there was like sunshines or whatever on the bottom as well. These sold for $24. They sat for about a year. They came from one of my previous thredup rescue boxes. That gave me $19.20 after platform fees, and then taking out the roughly $2 cost of goods. So I made just about $17, but they sat forever. Just because it's Lily Pulitzer doesn't mean it's going to sell. It doesn't mean it's going to sell fast. You really got to pay attention to what you are picking up. This was a little bit of an older label as well. I didn't check to see what year it was from. I'll just be honest with that, but it definitely was an old label. This next piece came from free inventory. It actually sold a couple of times because, like I mentioned before, this person had the same item in multiple sizes. So this was this, I think, third time this sold in a different size. This was an Ann Taylor Loft dress. It had like flutter sleeves, but it was a very structured dress as well, just a business attire dress or a regular workwear dress. It sold for $16 with no shipping discount. That gave me $12.80 of profit. Again, because it was free, that was all profit to me. Another Ann Taylor Loft piece, another piece of free inventory. This was a woman's romper. It was green. It did only sell for $8, and I had a shipping discount, so that gave me $3.03. But it was free, so that's $3.03 into my profit. I definitely wouldn't suggest picking that up, but if something just happens to fall into your lap, that's, you know, I'll take the money. In my mindset in this year in 2023, I probably wouldn't have listed it, but I did list it in 2022, and I'm not delisting stuff unless I'm going through the bin that particular piece is in. I've explained before kind of my inventory system. I have 12 different bins, and I go through one bin each month to just kind of think through, am I keeping this? Am I relisting, meaning completely taking pictures over and making a completely new listing? Am I donating? Am I taking it to Plato's Closet, thredup, and so forth? Like, what am I doing with the piece? In some cases, I had stuff listed and I didn't keep it for myself because it had tags. In some cases, when it got to that year mark where I went through that bin, I took the tags off and just wore it for myself. And it is what it is. This piece probably would have ended up there if it didn't sell. This Moda International black sweater dress came from a thredup rescue box with a cost of goods of roughly $2. It sold for $14 with a shipping discount, so that gave me $9.03 after platform fees and that shipping discount. So that gave me roughly $7 after the cost of goods. Another bundle here. This one, I actually kind of went back and forth with the buyer a couple of times because they were adding, taking away, adding, taking away. And there was just like a couple of different conversations going on, which happens. Sometimes with bundles, people, they want to add something to see how much of a discount they're going to get, and they take it away if they still get the discount and whatnot. It's just a back and forth game. People want to get the best bang for their buck. I don't blame them. I never get mad at all for low ball offers. Couldn't think of that phrase for a second, but yeah, I don't get mad about that personally. I just, people are looking for a deal. I'm looking to make money. We kind of meet in the middle with it. And this was one of those situations where they wanted a significant reduction in price, but I wasn't really necessarily willing to give it. But it did end up selling these 4 pieces. The first one was Aliviacious. I think it's an Anthropology brand. This was a white high neck dress in a size small. I did get it from Goodwill for myself. I wore it a couple of times, enjoyed it, but it was time to move on. I want to say my original cost of goods was $7, but I did buy it initially for myself, so it was kind of like it was free. I don't know. However you think about that. But this next piece came from a flip flop. It was a Monroe gray camel print drawstring, like joggers, more like sweatpant material. These were a size medium. My cost of goods there was about $3. I think it was like $3.12 or something like that I purchased the flip flop for. The next one came from a thredup rescue box. It was a divided H&M cream tank top, which is a basic tank top. Cost of goods on that was the roughly $2. And this last piece was from a flip flop that it was $4 that I bought out for. They were recessive jeans that wear a size 27. So all of those together, the buyer ended up paying $60 after our back and forth. After platform fees, that gave me $48 from that bundle. Moving on to another sale from a flip flop. This was a purple Lululemon tank top. There was no size tag, but the flip consignor client listed them as size 00, and I pretty much agreed. It looked like it was a 00. It's pretty small. This sold for $10 with no shipping discount. That gave me $7.05. However, I did buy it at a $3 cost of goods, so I got $4 from it. With Lululemon, I don't pick up Lululemon tank tops anymore. Like, I used to be like, oh, Lululemon everything, but now I'm being really particular in what I'm picking up just because I feel like Lululemon is everywhere now. It's kind of oversaturated in my opinion, so I don't particularly seek out pieces unless I know for sure that particular style is going to go for a significant amount of money, meaning $20, $30 and up, not $10 and then having to pay out a cost of goods. So to me, the sale wasn't all that great, but it was something that I had, and I made a few dollars off of it. Remember how I was saying don't consign with people unless you know it's worth it? This next piece is definitely an example of that. Kind of a little bit of a mistake, but this is reality here. These were Fashion Nova sneakers. They were like platform, animal print, pink and black sneakers. These sold for $8, and after platform fees, that gave me $5.05, and that was on consignment, so I made $2.50 on a sale. That kind of took a little bit of room in my inventory system, so to me that wasn't worth it. Probably in your opinion, I'm sure you're thinking, yeah, that definitely wasn't worth it. But again, we speak in reality around here. These Talbot's jeans came from a flip lot that I bought out for a $3 cost of goods. They sold for $20, no shipping discount, so that was $16 after platform fees, and then $13 after that $3 cost of goods. So to me, that was a little bit more worth it than the $2.50 for sure. Another piece from a flip lot with a $4 cost of goods. These were a mid-rise signature bootcut Hudson jeans. These were in size 28. They sold for $46, no shipping discount, so that can be $36.80 of profit after platform fees. And then of course, I had to take out the $4 cost of goods from that. Going out with a bang from another piece from a flip lot. This was a Brooks Brothers button-down shirt. I bought this flip lot out for a cost of goods of $2.50. This sold for $16, no shipping discount, so that can be $12.80 of profit, and then having to take the $2.50 cost of goods. So that was all of my sales on Poshmark in the month of March. That gave me a pretty good chunk of money to spend on myself and of course reinvest in other inventory as well. If you are interested in my sales on eBay and Mercari, hit the subscribe button if you're not yet subscribed. That makes sure that my videos show up on your homepage and the homepage of others and helps me reach my goal of growing and learning together.